The teaching in Likutei that Reb Nosson is commenting on in his drasha here, Hashkamas Haboykar Aleph in Likutei Halachos, the very first teaching, which is the teaching of Likutei Maran Reish Pei Beis 282, very famous teaching of Rabbi Nachman called Azamra. Rabbi Nachman over there says that when a person goes through this process of searching within themselves, even in the darkness, even when there's a part of them that's asleep, even when they're dirtied, and that person finds the Nekuda Taiva, finds that inner contribution that they're then going to bring to the construction of the Mishkan. When that happens, says Rabbi Nachman, you know what? A person is able to sing. A person's able to sing to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because so much of the reason why we can't daven properly, like I mentioned earlier, is because even if a person's not completely checked out, there's some part of them that's asleep. They don't really believe like there's any use. Hashem doesn't want to hear from them. They feel completely shut down, pushed away, distanced from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Says Rabbi Nachman, the way to sing any song is by composing a melody line that's basically a selection of different notes from among all the other notes. So a person plays even the most rudimentary song on a piano with one finger, right? That means that he's selecting particular notes to play in a particular order, and he's choosing in that moment not to press all of the other notes. When you select notes one at a time in a certain formation, that is the construction of a composition. That's how we make melodies. That's how we make music. That's how we're able to sing, when we take one tone, one note after another note, and we separate them from all the others. Says Rabbi Nachman, when a person finds their Nekuda Taiva, or their multiple Nekudos Tovos, different points, they say, no, I am good, I really am good, I want to be good, and I've done good things in the past, that's the real me, and they think, and they strengthen themselves, and they seek, and they search, until they discover all of their good points. Says Rabbi Nachman, that's an aspect of making a song, because you're selecting one point after another. That's like selecting one note out after another to compose a beautiful melody. Says the Rebbe, this is the way to sing. Because you know what that point is that you find inside of yourself? That point is called oid. Oid means just a little bit more, like tov ma'od. Od means more, or oid, depending on how you pronounce it. It means just a little bit more. And sometimes a person feels like a Rasha. But David HaMelech says, but va'oid ma'at ve'ein Rasha. Which literally means wait a little bit longer and there won't be any more wicked people. But Rabbi Nachman interprets it much deeper, and he says, Oid ma'at, each person has inside of them just a little bit more than you can see on the surface. And Od ma'at, just a little bit extra. Like Tov ma'od, extra, just Od ma'at, just a little bit extra that your eyes don't see on the surface, where ve'ein Rasha, where that person is not the wicked person that they think they are. That person is holy, that person is connected to Hashem, that person may look like they're asleep on the outside, but gevalt, they're awake, they're mamish awake. Od ma'at ve'ein Rasha. So says Rabbi Nachman, if that word Od is an aspect of the Nekuda Taiva, then beautiful. Turn to what we say every morning in davening, Azamra, I will sing the HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because of the composition of these different notes and selecting them. How will I sing to Hashem? Azamra lelekai, I will sing to Hashem be-odi, which means, according to Rabbi Nachman, with my little extra bit. That's what will enable me to sing to Hashem. I can wake up. I realize I'm connected. I'm not verschluft. I'm not just pushed down by the Yetzer Hara, told by him and convinced that I'm a nothing, that I'm a good for nothing, that I'll never be anything, and what's the point? No, Azamra lelekai. I'm going to stand and I'm going to thank Hashem. I'm going to sing to Hashem. I'm going to connect to Hashem, ba'odi, with that little bit extra that I have. That od ma'at ve'ein Rasha. That little bit extra where I'm not the Rasha that I think I am. Where I have that holy part that's connected to Hashem, that even though even though I laid down and I fell asleep, I laid down and I fell asleep. No, even though I'm hekitzaisi, I awoke. Hashem yismacheni, because of Kadosh Baruch Hu, you're with me. And so he says that that's the aspect of Azamra that will enable a person to sing. So Reb Nosson over here explains beautifully that that's the meaning of another pasuk in Tehillim in Kapitel Ayin Zayin, that the pasuk says, Ezkra niginasi balayla. David HaMelech says, I remember my song when? Balayla, in the nighttime. What's the nighttime? When a person's sleeping. Meaning, in the dark, David HaMelech recognized and remembered, no, I don't need to give in to the Yetzer Hara and just stay there. I could remember that I'm connected to Hashem. How did he remember? What did he remember? His nigun. I remember my song, meaning my points that I have inside of me, the azamr lelekai ba'odi, and therefore and therefore my heart was murmuring, and my soul searched. What did he search for? Says Reb Nosson, he was looking for his nekudos tovos. And if you remember the Gemara in Brachas, how did David HaMelech wake up in the middle of the night? A'ira shachar. How did he wake up? Because he had a harp that was hanging over his bed, and the wind would come and play on the strings of the harp, and that woke him up. Because to wake up from that sleep of shachavti v'yishana, that sleep that's founded upon Rabbim Oimrim Lanafshi, Ein Yeshua Lai Belikim Sali, you have no more hope. The way to wake up is with nigunim, is with hazamra, is by finding our good points, that even though Shchayra Ani B'Masa Egel, but V'Nava Ani B'Masa HaMishkan, when a person is able to find that good point, the od ma'at ve'ein rosha, then azamr lelikai ba'oidi, im levavi asicha, at the nighttime, vayechapis ruchi, David HaMelech searches to find those points inside of himself. We search to find those points inside of ourselves, and that enables us to wake up, to hear the music, mamish, and to recognize we're part of the music, and to recognize that our journey is exactly the way it needs to be. And from this moment on, we can stand up strong, confident, proud, fix up whatever needs to be fixed up, do our best, and to sing HaKadosh Baruch Hu with an open heart. Ani haben v'ata ha'av shali shekol kach ohev oti ha'av shali melech chai v'kayah al kol neshima she'ani